All right, so let's unpack the Cut Above layout kit for the Live Beautifully special in May. Here is the front piece, which has all of the 5 layouts on it that you're going to get to create and play around with. And then inside, you can see you have this huge book that flips out and gives you tips for putting together every single of the layouts. So that is really handy because it means that you're not figuring out based on a picture that may not be big enough for all of us. The next thing you have is place photo here holders. So these are great if you plan to give this as a gift. You can put these in place of the photo and then the gift recipient will know exactly where to put things. Or if you don't have the right photos yet and you're waiting for something, perhaps a wedding or something like that, then you know you can place these and then later your photos can go right over top. Here is some of our pre-cut papers. There is nothing better than pre-cut. I don't have to do any trimming. Fantastic. Just love it. Here are some of our lovely die cuts. So these just pop right out of the carrier sheet and they're ready to go. Some lovely gold, love it. And here we have our pre-styled pages. Oh gosh, look at this one. This is lots of gorgeous gold foil. I don't know if you're catching all of that, but so beautiful. And there are many, many, many of those. And then at the back, after all the pre-printed sheets of paper, we have a whole bunch more die cuts. So the great thing about these die cuts is they are labeled. So layout 1, layout 2, layout 3 means that you're definitely going to know where things go and you're not going to be a little unsure. Oh, look at all the gold. Love it. So I'm going to get working on these and I'm going to put a couple layouts together and show you just how quickly and easily they come together. Oh, and these are stickers, even better. All right, let's check it out. All right, I'm going to walk you through how to put a whole page together. So ahead of time, I pre-assembled all the pieces. That took probably less than a minute. And I picked out my photos because that took a whole lot longer. So really this part of the process is quite easy. So next to me I have the instructions, which tell me where I can place some of the pieces of my layouts, which is a great way just to ensure that you're placing things correctly. Like this spot, I know I have to go 3.5 inches up and 1 inch over. Now because I tend to use my Versamats, that also really helps me make sure I place things because it's got the ruler along the sides. So 3.5 inches up and 1 inch over is the first spot that I need to put something. So I'm gonna put some adhesive on the back of this banner. That's the first piece that goes on my layout, and he goes 3.5 up and about 1 inch over. So he goes right about there. And I tend to be an eyeballer. I just eyeball things to make sure they're in the right spot. Certainly you could grab a ruler and you could measure to make sure it's exactly where you want it to be. Sometimes I find when you measure though, it looks more out of line than anything. So then from there you just build up. So I'm just adding the pieces I know continue to go with this layout from bottom to top. And then this is meant to mat one of the photos. So I'm going to use this photo of my husband and I on our recent close to my heart earned free trip to Mexico. Because certainly if there's any place that's going to make you smile, it's like a free trip to Mexico. So I've got that mounted on this, and then I'm going to glue it down. Now the great thing about these pages is that you really can do more if you're interested. So if you're the type of person who does enjoy traditional scrapbooking and getting really inky and creative, you can do a lot with this. And don't feel like you can't just because you're doing a simple layout. Go for it. Try out adding foam tape and, you know, other accessories and stamping if you want. These are your layouts. They are meant for you. They're beautifully done, but that doesn't mean you can't take it up another notch. So I used our Bonding Memories glue pen there to add some adhesive to the back of the vine, just because it's a lot finer and easier to do when it's small detail than the tape adhesive you get with the kit. And some here as well, because this goes to the left of the photo. So I'm going to just put that down. And then I see I've got this little piece of banner that goes over here as well. Really, I could have used either glue, but that one was closest, so you know, I went with that. And that just tucks behind here, like so. And then we have some stickers. So this is part of what's great about this kit. Everything goes together so quickly and easily. You can see I'm almost done my one page already. I'm gonna add some stickers, and they coordinate perfectly with the blue in my shirt. It's like it was meant to be, and maybe it was. And adding this sticker, and then 2 of the smaller flowers there and there. And again, if you had foam tape, you wanted to pop them up a bit, that's something you absolutely can do. So this page is done. All I have left to do is some journaling. So let's focus on the other side now, which will be likely just as quick. I'll have to put a little timer on this so you can see just how fast everything comes together. And this is 1 3/4 up and 1 inch over, so I know exactly where I'm placing the blue piece to start. Right about there. And our adhesives are really strong, so you don't have to worry about overusing it when you're applying it. And I mean, they're already photo safe. You probably assumed that, and let me tell you that that is also the case. But some adhesive on the corners, and then a little bit in the middle when it's a big piece like this especially, is plenty enough. And it still allows you to tweak things if you need to do so. Okay, so let's add my photos here to this side. And I like to have both in place just so I make sure I have my spacing correct. Because often that is a part that you want to be careful of the most when there's 2 photos on one mat. I want my spacing to be all nice and even because that's just the type of person I am. All right, so already look at so much is prepared of this already. It's coming together fantastically. So let's add some adhesive to the back of this vine. And for the most part, I'm just doing the leaves and the odd small piece that sticks out. And this vine comes up from the bottom of our photo towards the quote that runs around the circular edge. And I love that piece, like so beautifully done that there's a circular quote. Can you imagine how hard that would be to stamp or to recreate in some other way? So it's so nice that it's done for you and you can enjoy that look without having to actually do the process. Personally, my favorite. All right, and then my photo. And honestly, that is it. So I have to add journaling, but here is my beautiful 2-page layout. I think my photos were the perfect fit. They coordinate with the colors so lovely. So I'll add a little bit about where I am and when it is, and that is it. Under 5 minutes, and I've already got 1 page done. Can you imagine? The whole album will be done in under a half hour. Fantastic.